So let's talk about spending. A lot of people want to spend less money. That sounds weird because, everything on the internet is about making more money. And I'm sure you have the instinct that you want to spend more money. However, when you talk about saving, you want to save less or you want to save more money. And the way to do that is spending less. There's always these articles online that I see that say, couple pays off student loans in 3 months or 3 years or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So you click on it and, oh, they each make $70,000 a year. Okay. That's like, oh, it drives me crazy because not everyone has that opportunity. They make it seem like people in Silicon Valley are the only people that exist because they make that much money on average. And even like the lower level people there aren't making that much money. It's not realistic for everyone to assume that at some point in their life they're going to make $70,000 a year. That's great, and we should all be shooting towards something. I think it's really important to have an eye for wanting to make money because I think it's part of what makes our society run, as long as you're doing it responsibly. The thing is, you can live off of so much less money, and I'm so much happier when I'm living with less money. Currently, I'm living on $300 a month. I'm kind of challenging myself to spend as little as possible. I'm trying to figure out my employment situation, and I am between like a full-time job and now trying to do more freelance work. Not all of that is paying yet. So I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are out there in this boat, and I've been in this boat multiple times in my career. At one point I was making about $9,000 a year working in a restaurant, and I was happy. I had no idea that I could make more money than that, and I really didn't need it because I was totally satisfied with where I was at in life. That restaurant closed, and a series of situations happened where it forced me to go back to college, finish college, and then once I finished college, I ended up getting a really good job at an AV company where I made $16 an hour and had the opportunity eventually to almost have a salary job, and I realized pretty quickly I wasn't happier at all. I was much less happy, actually, making that more money and spending all of that money because I wasn't doing something that I felt proud of, and I didn't feel like I was actually helping people. And no matter how much spending I did to try to cover that up, it didn't help. So these are 5 tips, or steps actually. They're actionable steps that you can take if you want to start spending less money today. You can start taking these 5 steps and you'll get there. I help a lot of my friends and family spend less money, so this is things that not only has worked for me, but worked for people that I know. The number one thing, the very first thing you need to do is start tracking your spending. If you're not already doing this, why? Come on. You need to be tracking your spending. And that sounds so much more intimidating than it is. With online banking now, it's so easy to go online and see exactly what you're spending. All you're really going to need to do is, first of all, minimize the amount of bank accounts you have. If you have like 6 bank accounts and that's overwhelming you to keep track of all of that, then go down to 1 bank account so it's all in one place. A lot of bank accounts online have the ability to categorize things, so you can look and see, okay, I'm spending this much money on this and this and this. What you're really going to want to look at are your recurring bills. So what bills every month are coming up that you're going to need. That's basically the basis of your minimal spending, is how much is your recurring bills. And then you're going to want to separate those recurring bills into 2 different categories. One category is your needs and one category is your wants. Then everything else on top of that, that means groceries, food, eating out, entertainment, whatever you're doing, collectibles, things like that. That's all on top of those recurring bills. Groceries is a tricky one because it's never exactly the same month to month. Technically, it's a need. It definitely is a need. But you can think about that in a different way, and I'm going to get into that into the next tip, the next step. After you start tracking your spending and seeing where all that money goes, start to get really real about what your needs and your wants are. And I mean really real about it. So many people are like, oh, well, I need this. I need this vacation. I need this. It gets really complicated, especially when you are in business for yourself, because I know I do this all the time. I start justifying purchases because I need it for my business. And this year I've made a resolution. I hate New Year's resolutions, but I think it is important sometimes to be rethinking about your life. And one of the things financially I realized, like, I need to stop spending money on my business until my business starts bringing in more money. Basically, any money that I spend on my business needs to be coming from my business, and it needs to be coming from my business after I've already paid my minimum $300 a month that I'm living off of. I'm there now because I got really real with what my needs are and what my wants are. And basically all my wants are out the window for now. And that's the important to realize, is it's not forever, it's just for now. For quite a while probably. But the thing is, I'm doing something that I love. I love making videos. I love teaching people. I'm doing these e-courses, and I love volunteering. I just joined a board and I'm planning on joining more. And I love taking care of my cats, if you can hear them. But so this boils down to, what are your needs? A lot of us, our basic needs are food, so groceries. I'm going to get into that in the next step of how to budget your groceries better. Healthcare, that's a big one. For me, that's always my biggest expense. I'm also going to get into how to take care of that. A phone bill, internet bill, those things are things that are necessary, especially if your business is online. Rent, if that's necessary. I have found situations where I've been able to pay less in rent by living with people or living in my family home or something like that. If you need to do that, do that. Don't feel ashamed because you can't afford rent if the other option is spending too much on rent. That's just not smart to do. So if you don't have a lot of income, don't be spending a lot of money on an $800 a month apartment or a $500 a month or even $200 a month if that's not something you can afford. Slowly build yourself up to those things. If you're going to be really serious about cutting back on spending, you need to bring everything down to a base level. Think of it like a pool of water. It's going to be at a base level, and you can start trickling new things in there once you're really established at this level. You're going to want to spend a few months at, I don't know, $500 a month, $300 a month, and then say, okay, I really want to move out on my own again. I'm making consistently $600, $700 a month. I can spend $500 a month. That's how you start to save money. You're actually going to see these things work for you. So part of this, and this is the third step, is to minimize your needed spending. What I mean by this is, so you know what you need to spend money on: healthcare, groceries, a house, clothing maybe. How do you not spend so much on those? So my health insurance at one point cost $300 a month, plus the bills of actually going to the doctor, until I had quit my job. And even after I'd quit my job, I was still paying $300 a month. Take advantage. I don't mean take advantage. This is what I really want to stress this too. Use whatever applicable aid there is. If there's Medicaid and you need it, use it. You paid, especially in my circumstance, I had a job where I paid a lot of money in taxes. So that, the way I look at it, at least for now, I'm just taking what I contributed towards at a certain point. Now I'm not planning on being on this forever, and I know it's much more complicated. It's like, oh yeah, just go use this thing, and there's all these hoops you have to jump through, and it honestly feels like a full-time job in and of itself sometimes. But if you really need it, use it. That's why it's there. Don't take advantage of it. As soon as you don't need to use it anymore, stop using it and start to, add water to that pool with your needs first. So that's rent, that's food, that's healthcare. So the second thing on there is, or the first thing I just said, but the second thing on this list here is rent. How do you minimize that? One of the best ways to do that, if you can, is move in with someone that'll allow you to live there for free for a while, and be respectful about that. Don't move in and mooch off somebody, but say, look, I'm in a hard place right now or something, and I need somewhere to crash for a while, and I will start paying rent as soon as I can, or I'll do things around the house or whatever. And this might be easier said than done, obviously. Not everyone has the social circles to take advantage of this kind of thing. I've had so many really awesomely generous friends that when I was really down on my luck and I needed a couch to crash on, they let me stay there, maybe pay some additional utility money for them, like $50 a month or something for the extra water. And some people might gawk at that and think, oh, that's no way to live. And the thing is, our standard of living in the United States is just ridiculous, honestly. And Europe and anywhere in the first world countries it's absurd the way that we live. And the thing is, it's not sustainable at all. So to be able to minimize your spending and really minimize your lifestyle so that you can save money and get ahead, so that eventually, if you really want to, you can live more lavishly, or you can help people. That's where I'm at. I want to spend less money so that I can help people. I can do something about the things that I see in the world that I think, oh, that's so wrong. I don't want to contribute to that anymore. This brings me to the final part of the third step, which was minimize needed spending, and that is plan your spending and hold yourself accountable to that, and spend nothing else above that. That means absolutely nothing. And to do that, let's go to step 4, get rid of your card or cards. Get rid of them. And I don't mean maybe cut them up. A lot of people do that. If you have credit cards, sure, get rid of those, cut them up. I actually keep a credit card. I use it for my recurring bills and I get cash back on it. I've done that really strategically for a reason, and I also don't pay any interest. It's like a no interest card for a certain period of time because I have decent credit. But I try not to carry my wallet with me all the time, or you could just take your cards out of your wallet. Basically, the point here is you don't want to have that easy pool of cash ready at any given moment to swipe or whatever. Take cash with you if you know you need to spend money. If I need to spend money, I usually keep maybe 20 bucks in my wallet, 15 bucks in my wallet for an emergency. I take money with me if I know I need to go somewhere and spend 20 bucks. I take cash with me. I actually do use my debit card more than I should. I'm going to start doing this more now, actually, to minimize my spending even more. If you don't have the self-control to not use your card, don't bring your card with you. Don't keep your card by your computer. If you are online and you feel like there's a purchase you need to make, you're going to have to get up and go get your card and come back. And by that time, you should have at least had some time to think about, do I really need to spend money on this? And train yourself to do that. Every time you go get your card, think, is this something I really need to spend money on? And most of the time, the answer is going to be no, you don't. If you want to live minimally, and if you want to spend less money, and you don't have to go as extreme as I am, obviously. I'm like to the max, as like extreme as I can get, spending as little money as I possibly can so that I can get back on my feet and I can start to be more financially free and happy. You don't have to go that far, but if you want to cut your spending, all of these tips to varying degrees, use it whatever is going to work personally for you. And that's the 5th step, is don't starve and don't suffer. You have to figure out what your goal is here, and you have to know ahead of time what you're reaching for, because if you don't, then you're not going to be motivated to do this. And if you try to starve yourself, that's not good. You need to eat, and you need to eat healthy. I'm going to have videos later on how to eat healthier, because wow, that makes such a huge difference in your life. And it's kind of a complete lie that eating healthier is necessarily more expensive, because actually you have to eat a lot less if you eat healthier. The whole point here is you can do this, and you can spend less money, and you don't need to spend as little money as I spend. You can spend whatever is right for you, but know what it is you're trying to get towards. And if you need to go see a movie every month, do it, but only do it once a month. Or, whatever your craving is, do that thing, but minimize it, It's not making you happier to sit and watch Netflix every night. It's not. Maybe you really do love a show and it makes you feel happy, so set some time apart every month to do that, but don't spend every day of your life doing it. Spend time more actively and you will be much happier. Spend time more precisely. Use every moment and every dollar for something to move forward in your life towards whatever your goals are, and you are going to be a crazy amount more happy. I can personally attest to that. I've been at the deepest pits of depression and not knowing where I was going with my life and really giving up, to now I really have this fire in me and I really want to do these things, and it's not easy because I don't have any money to do it. And to get there, I need to spend less money, and if that's what you're looking to do, you need to spend less money too. Track your spending, get real about your needs and your wants, minimize your needed spending and completely eliminate your want spending. Get rid of your card, only carry cash or carry minimal cash. and don't starve yourself, and don't suffer. I hope you take these steps, take this action. I have a spreadsheet down below to help you budget if you really need help to do that. It works through Google Spreadsheets, which is free. Take advantage of free stuff. You can do this. You can spend less money if that's really what you want to do. And if not, let this sink in. Maybe it can at least give you an idea of how to cut back your spending a little bit. If you like these type of videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I'm going to make a lot more of this stuff. This is now my life purpose, basically, is to be sharing everything that I've learned throughout my life so far with you and the things that I learned on this journey to become financially free and to have a life of helping other people and figuring out what that means even. So if you want to follow me with that, I would love to have you subscribed. I would love to hear what you think in the comments. Have you tried any of this stuff? Does it work? What reasons do you think it won't work? Do you have any other tips? All of this is a community. YouTube is a community, and I really want to be part of that, and I want you to be part of that with me. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this was Craig.